Hey everybody, today I'd just like to talk a little bit about the FNX 45, give you some specs, and then I'd like to give you a short story of my experience with this pistol. The FNX 45 was introduced to the FN line in 2007. It is a hammer-fired, double, single-action pistol that holds 15 rounds of 45 ACP. The ramp is polished. It features a safety decocker lever that is ambidextrous, along with the slide lock, magazine release, takedown levers right here. This pistol is only 33.2 ounces. It has a 4.5-inch barrel. It is a 1 16 right-hand twist. The length of this is 7 3/4 inches. The height is 6 inches. And the width is 1.5 inches. The trigger in double action mode is about 9 to 12 pounds, and in single action it is 4 to 5 pounds. The sights featured on this FNX 45 are 3-dot. Both front and rear are dovetailed, so they can be adjusted for windage. The slide is a blackened stainless steel along with the barrel. The barrel is a cold hammer forged barrel. It does feature front and rear slide serrations, which are really nice actually. These slide serrations, they got this stuff right. I will say that. They are really nice. The pistol does offer an external extractor that also doubles as a loaded chamber indicator. The lower, or the frame, is a polymer construction, and it does feature replaceable back straps. You just put a little Allen key or whatever, that small like a pen. You can slide this back strap down, slide whichever one on that fits your hand better. This one seems to fit my hand. This is the larger one. 2 comes with the one I bought. They may have added a few as time has gone on with these firearms. They do have a Lanyard Eyelet. They do have a 1913 rail and a serrated trigger guard for what it's worth. The magazine does feature a low friction coating, which really does work really well. I give them full marks for that. This stuff really works. Obviously the magazine is bent around to a U shape and then TIG welded down the back. They MSRP at $824. Like I said, they are made in the USA in a ISO 9001 or AS 9100C or EN 9100 certified manufacturing process, which basically is just a standardized quality management for aerospace industry in order to satisfy the DoD, NASA, and the FAA. Anyhow, so why did I buy this pistol? Well, I was looking for a higher capacity, at least more than 10 rounds of 45 ACP pistol in a semi-automatic. And I was looking at 2 pistols. I was looking at the HK and I was looking at the FNX 45. The FNX 45, they also have a tactical version in this pistol with a threaded barrel, suppressor height sights. But that one costs a little more. I believe that's in the realm of $1,250 MSRP. And I don't do the suppressor thing necessarily, not that I don't want to, I just don't happen to own any. So I just went with the normal FNX 45. I was able to find this used for $450. So the deal came, I bought it. So let me tell you a story about about my experiences with this. This thing runs flawlessly. It has always fed, it has always extracted. I've thrown different types of projectiles at it, hollow point, whatever you can think of, whatever I can normally get and normally people can get on the market. I've shot through this and everything's worked really good. Because of its weight, it is really snappy. You really feel it when you shoot this thing. There is very little recoil reduction. You're feeling every ounce of that 45 ACP going off. And I have shot an awful lot of large caliber rifles and handguns, and yeah, you're definitely feeling it with this one. And I'm pretty sure that has to do with the weight for the most part. So I picked one of these up and went to the range, and on my, I bought this, and you can even see with even all the rounds that I've put through it that there's pretty much little wear on this, even with all the rounds that I've put through it. So when I picked it up, it honestly looked like it had maybe a couple of magazines through it, maybe. Generally you'll see a little halo of brass right there, and it was completely clean. It had been fired, obviously, at least at the factory, but whoever owned it previous to me purchasing this did not shoot it at all. Like, I've put this thing through a lot of paces, and it's, for all intents and purposes, looks pretty new. So anyhow, so on my third magazine, my third full magazine at the range firing this, I had it in safe, picked the firearm up, went to go to fire, and the safety snapped off. Now, it didn't stop the pistol from working. I continued to use it just to see if it would be reliable, and it was for the most part. Upon inspecting it, I was able to find the safety that had broken off, and I was like, okay, let's just see if this will continue to work, and it did. But without this safety on this side, this lever, the safety on this side started to migrate out of the pistol during firing. So ordered a new one, got it in, and this is what they look like inside. So basically that little safety lever right here on the right side is part of the axle that goes all the way through, and this is a splined axle that goes through the back of the pistol. And on the right hand side of the pistol, if you're right-handed, that's the thumb that you'd be using to take it off, is this piece of plastic. See if we can get the camera to focus, hopefully. So this piece of plastic, that's all it is. And that little tiny piece of sheet metal in there is just like a C-clip that clamps on to the end of this axle. Let's see if we can get that in focus. There we go. So that's all that is. You can clip this on and you can take it right off. So as far as that happening, it will happen. It will happen more often if you use this as a decocker, because you're putting a lot more force on this piece. So I gotta kind of knock them on that. They do break. They will break off. As far as aftermarket fixes, I did at the time, and this was years ago, find a guy who was making them out of aluminum, and then he would drill a hole and put a very small machine screw through here, and you'd get a set with an axle that has the threaded hole, and this would be all aluminum, and you'd put that on, put Loctite on your screw it down, and you wouldn't have that issue. So got to give them a knock on that. I realize I have a sample set of one. I don't know what your guys's experiences are with this. They might be far better than mine, but that was my first experience with this on the third magazine after I had bought it. And like I said, in all honesty, I don't think there was much more than a couple of magazines fired before I purchased this firearm. So anyhow, after having experienced that, I did pick up this guy, and the recoil, the quality of the build, the quality of the polymer, the quality of the safety, everything is far surpassed on the FN. Now, having said that, these are, as far as the tactical versus the tactical FN, they're the exact same price, and HK has recently lowered their prices on most of their stuff. This has been every bit reliable. I have never had one single issue with it. So that's my story. That's my experience with the FNX 45. Like I said, if you guys have any experiences, please let me know. Put it down in the comments. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. And remember, loose is fast, brakes only slow you down, and shotguns have a wider spread. Be safe and have fun on the range, guys. We'll see you next time.